All right, new year, new office chair. Some of my bigger projects are basically out of the way for the time being. I think we can get this YouTube channel back on track finally. And just in time because I just saw M3GAN. Or I guess it's M3GAN, or however the hell you pronounce it. Not going to lie, when I saw the trailer for M3GAN, my first thought was, so basically we're remaking the Child's Play movie from 2019 that had nothing to do with Child's Play. In fact, it actually kind of reminded me of the philosophy that might have gone into Peppermint, wherein we made a Death Wish movie, but the Death Wish movie ended up tanking. Maybe we didn't need to remake Death Wish, says one guy, but then the other guy says, I hear what you're saying. What we need to do is basically make the exact same movie, but this time make the protagonist female. No, that is not what we're saying. Too late, we already made it. Ah! Difference being, the Death Wish movie they made at that point sucked and was irredeemable, and no amount of retooling could fix it. On the other hand, the Child's Play movie that they made, I could actually see working. The problem was they made it a Child's Play movie. This is not Chucky. Chucky is not some demonic Alexa or anything like that. Chucky is Chucky, you know what I'm saying? In fact, looking at the trailer for M3GAN, my first thought was like, why didn't you make this movie first? You know, why didn't you make this movie in 2019? Because it seemed like it would have worked a lot better then. But whatever. The important thing is, M3GAN was made, it came out this past weekend, and I went to see it. The movie opens with this commercial for permanent pets, and oh my god, this commercial is perfect. It's just a spot-on parody of those fucking robot pets and all the stuff that goes into them nowadays. It is just like, oh my god, yeah, how do I explain this? I don't really have, like, animatronophobia, I think is what they call that, where you have a fear of mannequins and robots and whatnot. I don't have that, but there is genuinely something about those robot pet toys that just bugs the crap out of me. And it bugged the crap out of me back then, too, as a kid, before they had smartphones and apps that you could interact with, and they were just robots with, like, that look like dogs or look like cats or look like birds. Actually, the bird ones didn't bother me so much, but the dog and the cat ones just bugged the crap out of me. I don't know why, but they do. And this commercial they put on for permanent pets at the beginning serves as both the vehicle to get you into this universe where animatronic toys are the big thing right now, and it serves as a perfect parody of where things are right now with these toys. And the commercial is over, we are then thrust into the world where permanent pets are a thing. We are introduced to the company that makes them, and we are introduced to the main character, Jenna, who finds herself with custody of her niece after her sister and husband have a horrible car accident. There's Jenna, the person who basically writes the software and puts together the hardware for the permanent pets as well as other projects for the company. There are her various co-workers, including Kurt, who is a complete and total derp. And then there's the boss. I can't remember what his name is, but I swear to God, he reminds me of that dude on TikTok who's famous for basically shouting, emotional damage! Apparently that's a joke. I don't get it, but I'm not on TikTok, so no wonder. God, TikTok is stupid. Realizing that her niece is grieving, Jenna decides to put together her next big project. She's technically been putting it together for years, but now she has a core demographic. Now she has a reason. She has motivation. And she puts together M3GAN, a doll that can be a friend. It learns, it talks, it sings, it knows how to do so many cool things. It also becomes incredibly super possessive, overprotective, and possibly even homicidal at times. What ends up ensuing from there is pretty standard slasher fare, but at the same time, oh my god, it has been so long since I've seen a halfway decent slasher movie from this era of horror films that would rather stick to the tired, cliche, borderline impossible nature of ghosty ghouls, Ouija boards, supernatural crap. I think I've gone on a tangent at least once or twice on this channel about how I don't find stuff like that scary and it's getting boring. And it probably says a lot about where the genre is going when a throwback like a slasher, but with a unique little robot twist, is actually considered a step up from what you've been producing. Not necessarily James Wann, but like the horror genre as a whole, really. I'm not gonna lie, this entire movie from start to finish is cheesy. Like, oh my god, I can already feel my arteries closing. There's so much cheese in this movie, but that's really what I like about it. Like, it is the kind of horror movie that I enjoy personally. Like, okay, M3GAN isn't exactly making quips like Chucky or Freddy Krueger, but M3GAN herself is really not without her charm. Like, I genuinely did like M3GAN, and I liked seeing just what sort of stuff she was capable of, which was pretty standard robot fare of hacking into the network and corrupting the cloud and all this other stuff. But it ended up being pretty entertaining, if I do say so myself. The only real negative I can think of for this movie was something my brother-in-law pulled up shortly after we all saw it, and that was the rating of the movie, PG-13, which, in his opinion, if you're going to go for a slasher movie, you need to go all out. You need to be gory. You need to have blood everywhere. Hell with what mainstream society has to say, and don't worry about the money. Just, you're James Wann, man. You're making Saw money. You could probably afford to just be bloody as crap. I'm not saying I disagree with his philosophy, but the way M3GAN did things, I honestly didn't miss it. Like, it was still a pretty interesting movie from start to finish, and I highly recommended it. Overall, I give M3GAN 3 hats out of 4.